Yes, sir. Now, today, we gonna talk about legendary musician James Brown. So without further ado, man, let's get right to it. And I ain't even gonna lie to you, in this picture right here, he looked like the Doria for real off of Dragon Ball Z, but come on. Nah, it says that Godfather of Soul singer James Brown dead at 73. Now, the interesting thing about this is the fact that if we take that phrase that they con with James Brown, Godfather of Soul equals 73 in the purest cipher. Now, if you don't understand what you're looking at, this is the practice of Gematria, turning letters into their numerical value. So when we break down these letters in the English language, this is what they equate to. Now, if you pay attention, it says reduction right here, right? This comes from, this is also called the Pythagorean cipher, due to the Greek philosopher Pythagoras that believed that the only true numbers were 1 through 9. No zero, no double digits. You break those down to the simplest form, right? So this is why this is called the purest cipher. So Godfather of Soul equals 73, just like how the Godfather of Soul passed away at the age of 73. But come on. Because James Brown also passed away 7 months and 3 weeks after his last birthday, when the word sacrifice equals 73. Now, CNN posted this a few months ago, actually, and it says that a woman claims James Brown was murdered and has given potential evidence to prosecutors. It since disappeared. Now, it says 3 years ago at the Fulton County District Attorney's Office, a prosecutor stood over a table cataloging items in evidence bags. Now, it says the items were turned in. I'm only reading special parts. Y'all can pause it and read the whole thing if y'all want to. The items were turned in by Jackie Hollander, a woman who said she could prove the Godfather of Soul was murdered at an Atlanta hospital in 2006. More than a dozen people who knew Brown have called for an autopsy or a criminal investigation. Even James Brown manager Frank Copsidis said he was murdered in a 2022 interview. He said, "That's my interpretation, plain and simple. Somebody wanted him dead." Nah, they say the inquiry was closed in 2021 after a deputy district attorney determined there was an insufficient basis for the initiation of a grand jury investigation, and authorities took no action regarding Brown's death. And then something strange happened to the items in the evidence bags at the prosecutor's office. They disappeared. Man, come on, man. Murder by numbers, man. But come on. Right? Because it even says that the district attorney, Bonnie Willis, has not publicly acknowledged the disappearance, nor has she given any outward indication that she's trying to find out what happened. That she don't even give a fuck about this evidence that disappeared, right? Several CNN inquiries on the matter have gone unanswered. The vanishing items in the evidence bags have become another of the many mysteries that still surround Brown's life and death. So please allow me to provide some further evidence, right? Allow me to do that. Now, if we look at the life of James Brown was born in the year 1933. Coincidentally, his first name, James, equals 33 in the reverse reduction cipher. And he happened to pass away 33 weeks after his last birthday, a Masonic ritual, a Masonic sacrifice on Christmas. But come on. Now, if we take that name James once again, right, in its respective ciphers, James in the ordinal cipher, J being the 10th letter of the alphabet, A being the first, so on and so forth. We get 48 in the ordinal cipher. Just like how James Brown passed away 4 months and 8 days before his next birthday. He also passed away 48 years after his debut album. Now, his debut album, it's hard to find the exact release date, but 9 times out of the percentage, hold on, let's do the percentage real quick. It's a let's see. 25 divided by 31. It's an 80% chance. It's an 80% chance that this album was released before the 25th or before the 26th, should I say. So that would mean that it's an 80% chance that he died 48 years after his debut album called Please, Please, Please. Now, come on. Now, another nickname along with the Godfather of Soul, they also called James Brown Soul Brother Number One. Now, what's interesting about that is that he passed away 18 weeks and 3 days after his death on Christmas, when Christmas sacrifice equals 183 and simple gematria, A being the first letter of the alphabet, and Soul Brother Number One also equals 183. But come on, man, there's something else with that Soul Brother Number One, man. They be taking these folks out by their nicknames, their stage names, and their real names. But come on. Because if we take Soul Brother Number One in Chaldean, it equals 59. Just like how the next step, right? Like the next step in life, the next phase, he was telling you right there, this is it. Just like Michael Jackson did. The next step is the 59th and final studio album by Soul Brother Number One, which equals 59. The word kill equals 59 as well, as he was killed after his 59th album. But come on. Because he was killed in Atlanta, Georgia, which also equals 59 in the pure cipher. Now, if we actually take the name of this album, which was called The Next Step equals 51, as he took that next step 51 months later. Now, this album was released on August 27th, which is the 239th day of the year. When we take James Brown's full name, James Joseph Brown, it equals 239. When you take the English language backwards, Z equaling 1, A equaling 26. Now, also with James Joseph Brown, it also equals 67 and 86, just like human sacrifice. Now, James Brown's next birthday was on the 130th day of his death, just like human sacrifice in the ordinal cipher. Now, let's talk about James Brown's album called Hell. Now, Hell happened to be James Brown's 38th studio album that was released in the year 74, just like the word Lucifer equals 74 and 38. This was a very strategic release. The powers that shouldn't be know exactly what day these things are supposed to drop. That's why these artists can't drop albums whenever they want to. It's things that's being worked out behind the scenes. They gotta figure out when they gonna drop it. You know what? Let me just continue. Yeah, they gonna figure out when they gonna drop it. When they figure out what day they gonna get you. When they gonna get you up out of here. Yeah. But anywho, right. If we look at the release date numerology of the album Hell, we get 55 and 37. Just like how Satan equals 55 and hell equals 37 in simple gematria, the ordinal cipher. Now, this album was released on June 28th, which left 186 days left in the year, just like Mark of Beast equals 186 in reverse. And you probably saying, well, Kinfolk, what about Mark of the Beast, right? What about Mark of the Beast? Why you take the out? Because Mark of Beast, if we connect it to this context right here, the fact that Mark of Beast equals 666 in the Sumerian cipher, which is the English language, multiplied by 6. And this is what it happens to equal. Come on, let's go back. Right, because this album was also released 309 days before James Brown's next birthday in 1975, when once again Mark of Beast equals 39 in the purest cipher. So in its respective ciphers, it fits with this riddle. And also the fact that the album was called Hell. Come on. Right? Because this album was also released 56 days after James Brown's birthday, when Society of Jesus equals 56, the Jesuits, the Jesuit order. That's who is picking these celebrities based on their astrology and the day that they was born, their birthday, their numerology. This is how these celebrities are being chosen. But come on. Because on this album, Hell, James Brown has a song that he wrote, only he wrote, called A Man Has to Go Back to the Crossroad Before He Finds Himself. Now let's dig into them lyrics, because he says in the outro, help me soul, let me go back to the crossroad so I can find myself. Sometimes I get lonely way in the middle of the night. Reasons why he get lonely. He must have did something that just wasn't right. So he gotta go back to the crossroads. Now, what is the crossroads, might you ask? Now, a long time ago, right? It was a song also referencing to the Crossroads, the Crossroad Blues. It was also an episode of Supernatural. Just look it up on YouTube, Supernatural Crossroads. This was a song written by American blues artist Robert Johnson. He performed it as a solo piece with his vocal and acoustic slide guitar in the Delta blues style. The song has become part of the Robert Johnson mythology as referring to the place where he supposedly sold his soul to the devil in exchange for his musical talent. It was said that before he went to the crossroad, Robert Johnson couldn't play worth a damn. He couldn't play, he couldn't sing, he couldn't do nothing. It sounded like cat scratch when he was singing. That's what they were saying. So he went to they say he went to the crossroads. And that's what he wrote this song about. So this is based largely on, they call it a folklore, right? Of the American South that identifies a crossroad as the site where such pacts can be made. Now they say, although the lyrics do not contain any references to Satan or a Faustian bargain, but once again, look up the movie, not the movie, the show Supernatural. They have Robert Johnson as a character in the show, and they show him selling his soul on the crossroad where they make their Faustian bargain. And this is the same crossroad that James Brown was referencing. He was saying he wants to go back, so he wanted to renege on his deal. Now, you know, if anybody has played spades, you know what happens when you renege. 9 times out of 10, you're gonna end up losing when you cough up them 3 books, right? So it's safe to say, when these folks make their deals, it's already set in stone, my baby. Ain't no reneging. So he wanted to go back to the crossroads to find himself, find his soul again. James Brown wanted out. He didn't want to play the game no more. But come on. So to circle back to Hell equaling 37 and James Brown's album Hell releasing on 37 date numerology, it's very interesting that he wanted to go back to the crossroad where he began on the album Hell, which equals 37, when he died on Christmas, which is celebrated on 37 date numerology. And we all know that Christmas is a pagan holiday that should not even be celebrated. But I'm gonna leave it at that, right? Because that's all we have for this video. Now y'all let me know. Y'all let me know what y'all think about this video. Please leave some recommendations for further videos in the future. Appreciate y'all for all the love. Appreciate y'all for all the support. And I'm out.